Hey, it's Diane. Does anybody want to see what I got at the flea market this past weekend? Because if you do, stay tuned. I'm about to show you. I had a lot of fun going to a flea market that's near my house. And I'll start with this pile here. Some of these things I would not have brought home, except that they were in a booth that was marked the dollar store. 5 for $1, must take 5. So there were a couple things I wanted out of it. So to make it 5, I picked up this little planner, and they'll make some cute journaling pages in junk journals. 20 cents. Each of these items was 20 cents because they were 5 for $1. And I picked up this 1983 diary. So they'll also make excellent journaling areas in junk journals. This book I would not have picked up except that it was 20 cents. And it's a children's storybook, but it's pretty badly damaged with water damage. But the illustrations are great. I mean, this page here would make a great page in a junk journal. And the stories are all illustrated. And I already took 4 pages out of this book because I was working on this book for myself, a junk journal made with a children's book cover. So it's got 4 signatures, and I'll show this when it's done. It's not stitched together yet or anything, but it's getting close. So I took a page out of this book, 1 page for each signature, and I'll show that to you when I do the video of the book. This is one of the things I wanted. It's Child's Garden of Verses and Other Stories. And when I was a child, one of my very favorite books was a little golden book I had of Robert Louis Stevenson's poems, A Child's Garden of Verses. So that's in here. It doesn't have all the illustrations that my original book did. Well, it wasn't original. It was illustrated by one of the golden book artists that I love the most. I know her name and now I can't think of it. But anyway, I like the illustrations that are in here and the poems and stories, so I got that. And this is what caught my eye in that dollar store. It's a Coop computation book, and it's large, 11 3/4 by 9 3/8. Unfortunately, most of it is filled in. This guy used all of his space, and it's interesting looking. You know, there's graphs and work, and it looks good, and I could, you know, use this as background for things in junk journals. But in the back there are some blank pages. I think I counted 18 pages that I can use that actually can be written on. They're really neat. They're numbered pages. So I like these. For 20 cents, I thought that was okay. So that's what I got from the dollar section there. It was somebody's booth that was $1. Here are the other things I got. Do you remember the Current catalog? When I was a teenager, we used to get the Current catalog, and they had stationery products and recipe cards. And I used to get a lot of the recipe cards. Some of the recipes in my recipe book are written on these Current cards. Not these in particular, I've never seen these. But I loved getting the printed, pretty recipe cards. So here's a box of the double recipe cards with this bright yellow chicken. Probably not one I would have selected out of the catalog, but I love that they're vintage and that they're current recipe cards, and I will definitely use them in junk journals. I also found some vintage postcards for my area for 50 cents each. This is Sayre, Pennsylvania, where I lived until about 8 months ago. This is a little park that I used to, we lived a block from this park, and there's the hospital, which was right across the street from the park. And I used to walk with my grandchildren down to the park and play there. But that town is just, you know, I could walk to that town still. I can walk to that park in 20 minutes from the house where I'm at now. But I live in Athens now, and There's a vintage Athens card, a couple of them. And then here's a postcard of Pennsylvania, 2 of them, because I thought I would send one in a swap to somebody. And Pennsylvania landscape. And then I got this package of cards, which I think was $1.50, maybe $2. $2 at the most. And they're vintage cards, and they'll be great in junk journals. So there's different designs, not too heavy. It's more like a heavy paperweight, but not card, so they won't create a lot of bulk in junk journals. Isn't that cute? So these will be fun to use, and the envelopes are there too. And then I got another package of current. These are cards, and this is one of the artists that I used to love from the current catalog. What's her name? L.K. Powell. She did a lot of cute animal cards and little kid cards. So this was a box of 8 cards, and there are 7 left in it. There are 2 of each design, and they're sweet, and they have envelopes also. I got another box of vintage cards, and these are, I don't know how old they are, but they're pretty old. They're called Remembrance Notes. The envelopes are stuck together, so I'll have to moisten them and get them apart. But these are also more of a paper, and they're folded in quarters. So these will be so fun to use in junk journals. I counted them, but I can't remember how many there are. The box says it's a box of 40, but there's not even 20. I think it's 17 or 18 cards. But for $1.50, that was pretty good. I got some trims. This is what I paid the most for, $3 for this roll of eyelet. But it will go a long way. There's quite a bit there. And then I got a baggie for $1. I think it was $1. No, this was $2. And it has 4 trims. And they're pretty colors. There's an ecru color, mint green, a pale pink, and a beige tan color. And then I got a few doilies. Got this set of 2, which I will use whole to decorate a journal on the front. And then this one I'm going to try to pick apart and use each section separately. And if that doesn't work, well, I'll figure something else out. And this one also I want to take apart. Isn't that pretty? I love it. And I got this awesome box of vintage file guides, 100, and the box is full, and they're all blue, and they're this nice sturdy, kind of a mottled, kind of like this brown, kind of the same kind of material, whatever it is. And the tabs are in all different positions, so these will be great to decorate and to stick in junk journals and to put in boxes that I'm sending out for swaps to share with others. I don't need 100 of them. And the last thing I got was 2 books. I didn't want to buy a lot of books because I already have a lot of book covers that I need to alter, but I couldn't resist these. This one is just a beautiful cover with a lady. Good shape, so I can actually use the spine without having to create a spine. And then I bought this one, which is also, it's bigger. The spine is bigger and it's in good shape, and I would use this spine and just cover it with some sort of trim. But look at the back. And this is stories, behind the scenes stories of World War II. And it's a Reader's Digest book. So it's pretty sturdy, and it'll make a great junk journal. This one's just plain on the back. So I'm looking forward to altering them. So that was my haul from the flea market that I went to. I was pretty happy with it. It was not bad for, I think I was there for 2 hours pawing through stuff and getting my hands filthy. But it was fun. So I'll be back soon with a video of this journal that I'm working on. And in the meantime, have a wonderful day.